battery went dead. I'm not exactly sure where I was at. I think we were talking about the papers where we had printed it out. And on another site, they had deleted that paragraph, but somebody forgot that there's 2 TA sites there, and they didn't delete it off of the other one. I'm sure that when I log back in here today, it's probably going to be gone now. But everything that I said, contrary, don't listen to what he says without investigating it. I'm telling you, even to him, when I said about McCoy's on their principle, he didn't like. He was telling you how he loved them, Hatfields and McCoy's, but yet he says in his statement for the World Trade Center, for the peace treaty, that he never liked McCoy's on principle. Principle? You've never heard a McCoy make up a story on a Hatfield like he made up on Hubert Bay. You'll never hear a McCoy say some of the things that he said. Now, I'm not going to stand here and just dog. You've heard both of us plead our case. We've showed you the evidence. We're going to show you some more where it's been deleted. If it's not the truth, why would you delete it for? Why would you, when you knew the story was coming out, why wouldn't you just make a correction? There's so many things that could be done. So sometimes this mouth right here can tell you one thing and actions tell you others. I wish Rio Hatfield the best. Sheila and I do.
Sure.
Sheila and I hate Sheila hates controversy. Yeah. She hates it. I don't care about controversy. I don't go looking for it, but you'll never see me back down from it. Rio Hatfield, no doubt, he loves being bragged on. He loves good commercialization, good stories. No doubt, nobody likes bad publicity. This is bad publicity because he got his hand caught in the cookie jar. And there's no way, no matter how many times you try to explain it to me or tell me how you like me or wish me the best, you're not going to convince me that you're this great, nice fellow. You know, at the end, all he had to do at the end there was say, but I was going to let him say it on his own because I've done said it twice in the video. And Sheila's made the comment earlier. She was behind the camera. You might see me. Apologize to Virginia. Sheila loves, we both love Virginia, but Sheila and Virginia have a special connection. It reminds Sheila of her mother, different things, and we don't need an apology. You need to apologize to the person that's being hurt most by it.
Exactly.
And that's Hubert Bay McCoy's daughter. Guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, my heart can't take much of this. Rio's an old man, I'm an old man. But sometimes the truth deserves to be told.
It does.
Go ahead.
I agree. I done lost my thought. I was going to ask you something else. I'll think of it here in a minute.
That's okay. That's okay.
He was talking
That's
about.
Okay. I'm sure it wasn't nothing bad.
No.
I know Sheila, and her thoughts is you could convince Sheila. She'll probably, Sheila just loves everybody. And that's the sad part. It's yin and yang here with Sheila and I, and I hate to even have her connected with me because I don't want to bring out the negative, but after 38 years, I don't. Sheila's got a mind of her own. She thinks for herself, and she's a lot of times, even during this video, she wanted me to let Rio talk.
Yeah.
Rio's blowing his horn. He's blowing smoke, but she wanted me to let Rio have his word, have his say. Make it fair, she was telling me. Let him talk. Yeah. Well, all he's going to do is say that I'm incorrect, that the evidence is not there, that he didn't say this, he didn't say that. Well, I guess Phoebe Judge must have imposed somebody else's voice that sounded like him. I guess Dean King's not the author that I've always given him credit for, and because he says that Dean King, he didn't say that to Dean King, and Dean King's got it in his article. He says he didn't say that on Phoebe Judge. He turned it around to different things. Well, 6 minutes and 35 seconds on Phoebe Judge. Google Hatfield McCoy Saga, Phoebe Judge, North Carolina radio station. Yeah. Go to 6 minutes and 35 seconds. You'll hear the man. You'll recognize the voice. Guys.
The thing of it is, I thought what I wanted to say, sorry to interrupt, but why didn't he do the research before he said those things?
He did, babe. He did.
I mean, but he was saying on there he didn't.
He was a 20-year auxiliary police officer. He says you don't do it for nothing. You didn't get. You do it. You do it for the uniform. You do it for the prestige. You do it for all the things that come along with it. To credibility. You do it for the credibility because they say, hey, that guy's got a uniform on. He must be credible. I used to work with an FBI agent that wore a suit and tie every day, and his favorite saying was, "How you doing, Mark?" He'd say, "Above reproach." Are they above a reproach, or are they above the law? So can't always believe everything everybody tells you. I've learned that the hard way in life. I've learned that the hard way in 40 years of criminal justice. Guys, sorry to drag it out so long. This is definitely going to be divided into several different videos. And I don't think we'll have no problem for you staying around and watching one after the other, because it's an interesting video. It's one of my most sad memories, most looked up. I've called him many a times. I've sent him books. I've left messages. That's the first time he's ever called me back in 12, 15 years, ever how long it's been since that story come out, 2011.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, Mr. Hatfield, for calling me back.
Yeah.
I know that he knew what I was wanting to ask of him, because we've put the stories out there. And so it took some guts to call. It took guts, or it took something, maybe thinking that he was going to either intimidate. There he started on the lawsuit there one time. This is the man that signed the Hatfield-McCoy Peace Treaty, and he's talking about that I'm going to push him into filing lawsuits, what it sounded like. That's my words. But he was threatening something there. I don't think he was threatening bodily harm. So next thing to that would be, but yet, this is the man that wants peace and harmony. Hatfield's and McCoy's Peace Treaty can make peace between anybody. Catch you next time. Hey guys, it's Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, fredmccoy.com. This is going to finish this video up with the conversation with Rio Hatfield concerning his service or lack of service, that he never served in the Vietnam War. I know some of you, as you're watching that video, you may think that pretty rough. Well, he was as rough on me as I was him. The sad thing is that one of us is telling the truth and one of us is trying to cover. We've known this for some time. We went and wrote 2 books about it and put them out in publication. We wouldn't put these videos on the air if it wasn't the truth. And again, I can sit here and tell you I'm a Christian, I'm a good guy, I'm this, I'm that, if you want to believe that. If you have to tell somebody you're a Christian, you're probably not letting your light shine. I'm a Christian. I was born again, baptized, 16 years old. I'm sure not living the life that I should be living now. And it's people like this right here that makes me like that. When you see people carrying their Bibles, when you see people, I'm a Christian, I'm a preacher, I'm a deacon, it really hurts. You lose your, not that you, after 40 years of a career in law enforcement, you've already lost your faith in humanity. And then you see people like that, you just about lose it in Christianity, other than I've got a personal relationship with my Lord and Savior, and He knows my heart. So even though I don't act like I should as a Christian, I don't profess to be. I'm not a preacher. I don't carry my Bible around. I don't try to invite people to church. I don't try to save souls. I do good to do what I do, but it's people like this and this Hatfield-McCoy feud stuff that really gets discouraging. One thing at Rio, you may have called on to it. We got some smart people that watches our channel. I've always said that. They may be other channels that's got more people, but their people's not smarter than ours. Our people are smart, and they want to get smarter. They want to stay on there and listen to this old cranky fella like they do. You don't listen to me because I'm a good speaker, because I'm good looking, because I dress well. You listen to me because you want to hear the truth and you want to see how we prove it. And that's what we try to do for you. And we thank you for hanging with us.
Well, thank you very much.
I asked him about Sergeant. He never answered that question. He said he was in the Army in his papers and said he's Sergeant. Sergeant's irrelevant. It's a little bitty stuff, and it very well could be, but I never did get a direct answer out of that. He did not serve in Vietnam. We're going to continue this video at the end of this, and I'll show you something on the computer that even raised more curiosity, as the 2 of us noticed something was missing, and then we knew what had happened. Who was his great-grandfather? He says in a book, and he says in a Granta magazine, that his great-grandfather was Bad Elias Hatfield, which would have been my great-great-uncle, Preacher Ance Hatfield's brother. I asked him if his great-grandfather was Bad Elias, or was it Devil Anse Hatfield? He said it wasn't Devil Anse Hatfield, but yet he never did tell us who it was. That may be irrelevant, but then again, it may be something different than what he said before. Like I said before, it's easy to tell one lie, like Devil Anse served in the Civil War. Then he says he's a captain, 2 lies. Then he says he's a member of the Logan Wildcats, 3 lies. And then it goes on and on and on. It just seems like, what's that old saying about a web we weave?
Yeah.
Years in the Army, we never did get the years in the Army. Seemed like he said he might have went in 69, but I never did get the exact years. The thing we're going to cover in a minute is where the story was deleted, the story on his bio. Guys, if you're starting a job with a company and they tell you, most companies, I ain't going to speak for everybody, I don't know this company, but who better to write a bio? I was talking to an attorney friend a while ago. We were talking about this. And who better to write a bio than the person that the bio's on? Usually the company will tell you to write something up about yourself so we can put it in there. That's the way it works. May not be, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying nothing for a definite fact except our investigative skills and Hubert Bay McCoy and that he was not in the Vietnam War. We've proved those 2 cases. We proved those by his own admission. He can say that he didn't know the story on his grandfather. That's bull crap. We know that he knows the truth. He just never thought nobody would call his hand on it. Most people don't. Most people that does bad things, they think they're never going to get caught. They think they're above the law. Lawsuit. You heard him there. I went back and listened to it again. I don't know if he's threatening me or threatening a lawsuit. At first I thought he was talking about a lawsuit when we were discussing it. And then he said if I notify his company that it's going to get, and he started to say something, I interrupted. I should have shut up. Sheila tells me I talk too much. But I don't know. There might have been a threat in there. I don't know if it was a threat physically or a threat of a lawsuit. And I said, go ahead. Oh, you're going to, now the peacemaker, he's going to sue a McCoy. Really? That's really a peacemaker. That's the real Rio Hatfield. And Ron McCoy's no different. The good thing about a lawsuit, I say if you feel froggy, jump. If you want to file a lawsuit. Because the good thing about a lawsuit, one thing about being a police officer for 40 years, you don't make a lot of friends, but the friends you make are usually attorneys, lawyers. So I've got friends out there. We've got plenty of representation. So, if you want to file a lawsuit, he can file a lawsuit. Good thing about a lawsuit, as I was talking to another attorney friend a few minutes ago, just to cover our bases. Good thing about that is we get to do depositions, Let's put Rio Hatfield under oath. Let's put him under oath and let's look back at some of the computer information. Let's put him under oath where it's perjury. You can tell all the stories you want to under color of the Pike County Tourism, under the speaker for that group. You can do anything you want. But let's put you under oath, take a deposition, and let's see where the truth leads us. We'll get to the truth that way. And we also might get to some DNA. We may find out a whole lot more than we even thought we was going to find out. So that's the good thing about lawsuits, because both parties get to do different things for discovery. And it may turn out to be something in our favor on that also. We have nothing. We just sold our house. We have nothing. Museums in our grandchildren's name. We don't own nothing. Sue all you want. Do you think we'd get out here and straighten up history, or try to tell the corrections that we're telling and take a chance on that? No, we wouldn't do it. We're going to be living in an apartment that somebody else owns at this point. So sue all you want. We'd love it. We'd love to bring out the truth. And if you have to tell people you're a Christian, you're probably not doing something right. And if you'll notice there 6 or 8 times, I'm a good fella, I'm this, I'm patriotic, so is 50 million other Americans out here. 50 million other Americans are good citizens, are good people, but they don't go around making up lies on people's families. You don't have to make somebody else look bad for you to look good. My God, the man's been so successful in business. He's been so successful with his children. He's been so successful in life. He's had it made. But see, it's like Donald Trump or somebody, and I'm a Donald Trump fan. I'm a Keep America Great. But it's like people like that. They've got all the money they want, everything they could have, but they got to have that prestige. They got to have that title. They got to have that camera, that recognition. I don't have that. Never did want that. All we want to do is correct these stories. And by George, I can look at these websites, these Facebook pages, getting this.
Calm down.
Calm down. I can look at them and see the difference. People, thank you. You're coming alive. You're starting to research. Don't be Jim Joneses. Don't be gullible. Don't be gullible. We love it when you ask these questions. You know, I make the comment several times about going to John Vance's property, and I should explain this to some of you. In that first video, I'm saying they come up there and wanted to see if he could turn a bus around. Jim wouldn't let him. John wouldn't let him. It's not his bus. I'm talking about a tour bus. Ron McCoy, when he filed a suit against the graveyard, him and Bo, they wanted to get John Vance to let them bring a tourism bus from Pike County Tourism that they charge, I don't know, $50-some, $54. I don't know how much it is. And they take them to different places to let them see these historical sites. And they wanted to turn a tour bus around in his driveway, which is no bigger than this living room. And he wouldn't let them. They wanted to walk around his property, and he wouldn't let them. But you know what John got mad about? Go look at the lawsuit video, one of the first videos we did. Look at the lawsuit video. You know what John did? What pissed him off more than anything? They wanted to charge people to come up there and look at that cemetery, those McCoy graves. John didn't want to charge nobody. You can go up there anytime you want to for free. They wanted to charge, and that's what got John upset. Guys, it's Fred and Sheila McCoy. We're going to stop here and we're going to pick back up in the computer. Okay. And I want to show you two stories. I've got them on hard copies for attorneys if we need them. I've done, like I said, I was a police officer for 40 years. I can't tell you how to plane a tomato plant. Yeah, I can too. I was a country boy. But I can't tell you how to do a lot of things, but I can tell you how to work a case up. I can tell you how to prepare for court. I can tell you all them things because I've done it for 40 years. So we've got the case file all together and worked up, but it's down at the museum in the desk. Yeah. But I'm going to pull it up on the computer in here, and I'm going to show you most of the same stuff right here on the computer. And we'll do that right after this. Okay, guys, we're limited on time. Here's one of the stories, the same story that I'm going to show you on another page. This is on TA Services, top left-hand corner there. And it's talking about Rio Hatfield. Now, this is in our first video that we did about asking Rio for his DD-214. This is the same bio and information. It's talking about Rio taking a position with him. This was published on November the 12th, 2020. Now, as it goes down through here, I know where I'm going, and you can go back and look at Sheila's papers on my desk down there if you want. But right here under George Bush, first it says that outside, it says Hatfield was most well known for brokering and writing the truce that ended the famous Hatfield-McCoy feud in 2003. He, along with Bo McCoy and Ron McCoy, signed the truce live on national TV to an audience of 3.5 million viewers. Now, this is Rio. This is what he's always said. That's why it's no doubt that he wrote his own bio. Of course, most people do, to commemorate this historic event and symbolize forgiveness on both sides. The three men signed unfired shotguns and presented them to Governor Paul Patton, Kentucky, and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, and President George Bush. Now let's look at the next paragraph. Hatfield also served in the Vietnam War as a sergeant stationed in Seoul. Later, he also sat on the city council of Waynesboro, and he was in the reserve police chief. Okay, we're going to go here to this story. Here's the 3.5. Pause it, Sheila. They've changed it. Guys, over on the other side, and it says basically the same thing. Hatfield-McCoy feud with Ron McCoy and television audience, 3.5 million viewers. Now, I'm going to go back. I want to show you something. Right at 3.5 million viewers, and the next sentence is, a person's actions and history tells a lot about them. Honor, and integrity and so forth, really. But let's go back here. Remember, 3.5 million views. Let's see what's on this page. 3.5 million views. Whoa, wait a minute. Where's this paragraph? To commemorate, and George Bush, and also Hatfield also served in the Vietnam War as a sergeant stationed in Seoul. Later, he said. Now let's go back to the next one, and I'm going to explain to you what happened. There you go. There's where it says 3.5 million. This paragraph in here, it looks better on hard copy when it's printed out for our files, but there it is. And it goes down to here where it says a person's actions. So let's go back to this page, Vietnam War. There is a person's actions, and history tell us a lot about their sense of service, pride, responsibility, honor, and integrity, said Scott Shell. So this Scott Shell guy must be the president of the organization, owner, or something. I don't know, but he once again, you've got integrity thrown in there, and some people won't know integrity if it smacked them in the face. So this is what I'm talking about, where it's been removed and taken off.
So from here all the way down to here has been taken out.
From there to right there has been removed. That's gone. Over here in this one, it's gone. So from right there, from 3,005 viewers, 3.5 million viewers, down to right there, all this through here is gone. And it picks up at a person's actions. And here we go, a person's actions. So all this is gone. And if I don't tell you that there's some deceit going on, now the thing about it is, what happened here? What happened over here? They deleted it. Well, they deleted it on this page. Also, what happened after this wasn't here the last time we looked at it. Press releases are provided by the companies as is and have not been edited or checked for accuracy. Any queries should be taken up with the company. So somebody has contacted this company and said, hey, you've got this wrong. Take this down right now. Well, because that's what they put this disclaimer up here for. Or that's my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. But all of a sudden, this wasn't up here when we first read the stories a while back and started inquiring about it after the gentleman asked us to look into it. So now they got a press release that says, you better make sure everything's right from the company. We don't edit nothing if we just print what's on here. So this here has been doctored. It's gone. But this copy over here, you know, when you put something on the internet, it don't only go on one page. It may go on, that's how you catch people in crimes and different things. You still take their hard drive, and then you start looking. And this one here's TA Services. This one over here was TA Services, DC Velocity, whatever that is.
Name's Logistic Leader or something up here it says on that.
Yeah, name's Logistics Leader. So, once again, I don't know, like I said, everything's in our hard files. Most of it we posted for you when we done the first video asking for Rio's DD214. And I think we've proved our case. I'm sorry, we take no satisfaction in this, Sheila.
Nah, I'm disappointed.
Sheila's brokenhearted. I mean, you know, you hope for the best in people. You hope that sometimes you're proven wrong. I knew he fabricated the story on his grandfather. I knew that. It's been fabricated, and we've never gotten no response from our books that we sent him, wanting to exhume his grandfather to see if the bullets was in there. And then all of a sudden he says, well, he's had surgery. The bullets. First he says, that's the first time we heard today that he was shot in the belly. All the other times he was shot in the back, he was shot in the thigh, the hip, and he was shot in the arm. Today is the first time we've ever heard, and it's on tape. You can hear it for yourself, and then go listen to Phoebe Judge's radio interview, and you'll hear where he, in fact, I should go play that for them so they'll have it right here readily available.
Awesome.
I don't know if we got that much time on the video. If we do, we'll play it. Catch you later.
Bye.
Hey guys, I'm going to play this, the next chapter in the Hatfield McCoy saga. Phoebe Judge, September the 9th, 2015. All you got to do is go right down there and click on that. And when it comes on...
From the American Tobacco Historic District, I'm Phoebe Judge. The Hatfields and the McCoys are two of the most well-known American...
Here we go. We're going to go up here to this line
American families.
up here, and you're going to take this to 6 minutes.
Japan
6 minutes
But a lot of
and 35 seconds.
of another.
Now here
police
comes
officer.
Rio
Tell us a bit
Hatfield.
about your grandfather and how he ended up to be the last Hatfield to kill a McCoy.
Well, that's interesting. That was in the Washington Post last year on May the 20th. And what had happened was he was the chief of police in Matewan, West Virginia. And he had a raid on a illegal operation in the city. And a gentleman there took the gun of another police officer and shot my grandfather 3 times in the back. My grandfather turned and shot and killed him. And later they found out that the person he killed was a McCoy. So it was in the line of duty from this police department. In fact, he was interviewed by a reporter on his, and it's very well documented in a book, interviewed on his glider on his front porch and said, "When are you going to go down and have the bullets taken out?" And he says, "Oh, I'll go down in a few hours, have the doctor take them out." He never did go. In fact, that was in 1947. And I wasn't even born, of course, then. And then later I grew up, and when I was a teenager, the bullets had caused some internal injuries that they finally had to remove them. But that was after several years after that.
Are those bullets still around?
They are not. Unfortunately, they are not. In fact, there was one ring that he had that my father had made for him is not around either. So there is.
Okay, guys, we're not worried about a ring. We've covered this before. That's a magician trick, trying to divert your attention, or he was trying to divert Phoebe Judge's attention to something else, a ring. We don't want to know about a ring. We want to know what happened to those 3 bullets, 2 bullets, 5 bullets. Did you notice he said on our phone conversation when me and him was talking, he said he was shot one time. He had the bullet taken out of his belly. Bullet, he says right here, bullets, plural. So in the back. So once again, that's Rio Hatfield there, the same gentleman you heard on the phone with me. And you guys can distinguish as to, we've wrote books, we've got the criminal history, we got the sentencing, we got the court records. Hubert Bay McCoy never had a gun. He was unarmed. His grandfather shot Hubert Bay in the back of the head, murdered him. He was sentenced to 5 years hard labor. We could go on, but we're not going to. Guys, this is going to conclude the Hubert Bay McCoy, Rio Hatfield Vietnam War Stolen Valor. I didn't want to call it that in the beginning, but I have no problem calling it Stolen Valor now, because when you try to steal the glory from other people, or that you did something that you didn't do, that's Stolen Valor, and he did that. And guys, that is the most disrespectful thing you can do to those people that did serve in Vietnam, or any other war for that matter. You don't steal their glory. They worked for that. They earned that title of serving in Vietnam. You don't say I was in the Vietnam War and then say, well, I meant Vietnam era. No, you didn't. You meant exactly what he said. He just thought nobody would ever research it. And to the gentleman that contacted us and wanted us to look into it, thank you. Thank you very much for being so observant. He noticed these discrepancies, not Sheila and I. We only investigated them after we were put on it. Thank you, guys. That's going to conclude this video.
Thanks, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.